Well, it's time for another second sight release. This time we have the Blair Witch Project on this ridiculously overloaded and stacked edition. Before we get into the movie, let's jump into the package itself, do a quick unboxing. Here is the Blair Witch Project from Second Sight Film, so take off this J card, which lists all of the extras included on disc and within this limited edition set. It is a rather hefty set with a great image in the front. It's plain on the back and houses a wealth of extra material. We have the disc holder here, we have the book that comes with this, we have Heather's journal, and we have art cards. Let's open up the art cards. Here is 3 images that are included on the art cards, including the standard poster of when it came out. Here is Heather's all-weather Black Country notebook, which is the Blair Witch shooting, which kind of gives feels like a kind of fictionalised account of her time in making this project, which of course comes to an abrupt end. Here is the disc holder. You get the spooky image of the woods, which our characters get lost in, and inside we have the Blu-ray with the features and the Blu-ray extras disc. This is the booklet, 184-page book. It is a behemoth full of a wealth of information. I shall open it here to the contents and let you have a little look at what is listed here. You can have a pause, read through the amount of people that have contributed to this wealth of information here. Just flicking through the book, you can see lots of text here, some behind-the-scenes pictures, some production information. It's just an absolute wealth which will take a bit of time to get through, but I'm looking forward to completely reading all of this. And that's the included extras for the Blair Witch Project. The Blair Witch is one of those movies when it came out in 1999, it just kind of caught a wave of attention. There was something magical about its release, just the way it landed, the time it came out, the way technology was changing. Everything was just done really well. This fake documentary style hadn't been done as much at the time. The found footage, although a familiar premise, we would seem back to decades prior, it felt like a fresh take on it. It was these unknown actors, 3 people making a documentary on a local legend.
No! And they disappeared off the face of the earth.
No! Really?
Okay, it's all right, Ingrid. I'm just telling a scary story, but it's not true.
It's not true.
A horrifying witch that has a legacy within Burkittsville. And as we watch our 3 people just kind of arse around for a little bit, get to know people in the town, chit-chat with each other, ultimately going trekking into the woods, what you get is a slow descent into terror madness as these people become lost, stranded, almost abandoned in this large woodland, struggling to survive and cope both physically and mentally. And it's that tear down of their psyche that becomes really horrific throughout it. Now, of course, there are other things that make this film just as terrifying. It is the lack of knowing, the lack of polish to it. It feels real. These people go to bed at night and wake up with strange wooden figures or piles of stone round about them. The kind of thing that's never truly terrifying, but is deeply unnerving to know that someone was there while you were sleeping, while you were in a vulnerable state. Something was happening round about you that just was out of your control.
Whatever it is, man. Whatever it is at this point.
I know. We have to get back to the car.
We're obviously not wanted here, so let's get the hell out.
There is something that is terrifying about that, and subjected to that kind of terror every night. You see these people as they slowly implode, starting to niggle at each other as the smallest thing can just cause tensions to overflow and people to break, snap, and just shout at each other, taking out all frustration that they have on each other. And because it's so rough around the edges, because the camera work is handheld and it doesn't feel polished. It adds to the authenticity of the film, and nothing nowadays I think will ever come close to the release of the Blair Witch Project, where it felt like something that was real. You know, you were kind of stuck in knowing that this was a movie, but at the same time feeling as if it was reality as well. And the website led into that. The say fake documentary that's on this disc, it was a TV special, led into that as well. Everything was just wonderful in creating this whole mood, aesthetic and atmospheric project that just terrorised. And it's one of those movies where there's not a lot happening plot-wise. There are drips and drabs put in throughout it that leads up to a wonderfully terrifying finale. But if you're looking for a lot of action, you're not going to get it here. If you're looking for constant discoveries and plot moving forward, you're not going to get it here. It's three people in a pressured situation, slowly tearing each other apart and being terrorised by some unseen force that seems to be guiding them along their path.
I am so sorry for everything that has happened.
I think the Blair Witch Project is phenomenal. It is a absolutely terrific film. It's one of those movies that if you were around when it came out, it has left a lasting mark because it was so wonderfully done. And it's still one of those movies that a quick 80 minutes that you just throw on and become engrossed in. The characters can be annoying, they can be empathetic, they can be traumatic to one another. You can feel their journey as it's leading towards its ultimate demise, as we know from the little blurb at the start of this one. Terrific work, and just a great release by Second Sight Films with a wealth of extras, including one of the best extras I think I've ever seen. Let's dive into the disc and have a look. Here we are in disc 1 for the Blair Witch Project, which has the 35mm theatrical cut. They have the other theatrical cut restructured from high 8 video and 16mm film elements, and the festival cut, again from high 8 video and 16mm film elements. If we go to the extras, you'll see we have 2 commentaries on here. First one by Alexandra Heller Nicholas and Josh Nelson, and the second is the director's and producer's audio commentary. Let's go on to this too. First up, we have got the outstanding The Blair Witch documentary, a Second Sight Films feature-length production which runs at a staggering 2 hours, 30 minutes, 20 seconds, and it flies by, full of wonderful information, talking heads, behind the scenes, photography. It just is an absolute Herculean effort to put this together, and it is one of the best extra supplements I have seen in years. Next, we have the Blair Witch Project, Analog Horror in a Digital World, a visual essay by Mike Munzer, who talks about how this landed at a time and place that could probably never be repeated ever again. It just married the time between analog and as it was moving into a digital world, how the materials used were products of their times as well, and just how it just hit the zeitgeist. Next, we have deleted scenes, which are 1 hour, 31 minutes, 44 seconds. Lots of material before they would really enter the woods. You get to see the guys just hanging about, just being themselves. You can understand why a lot of this was cut. Next, we have alternate endings, which run at 8 minutes, 1 second. There are 4 different endings here. And looking at them all, I feel that they chose the right one. Not that any of them are bad, they're all variations of the same thing. I just feel the first one is creepy. Next, we have Curse of the Blair Witch, a 1999 TV mockumentary created to promote the film. I remember seeing this at the time it came out, and it's a great addition to the film, really building the impact that it would have. We have the Cannes 1999 archive director interview, which runs at 10 minutes 51 seconds, has the guy sitting just chit-chatting about the film as they sort of begin their whirlwind of interviews. And then we have the trailers, which are 2 minutes, 35 seconds. That's the on-disc extras for the Blair Witch Project. So there we have it. The Blair Witch Project is out now. It is a phenomenal package, stacked with extras that complement and enhance the film. It is one of those packages that feels definitive. I can't imagine it getting any better than this package from Second Sight Films. Yet again, they have done it, released the definitive edition of the Blair Witch Project. Terrific. I would love to know your thoughts on this film, on this package. Are you picking it up? Let me know in the commenting box below your thoughts on this. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com. Always, in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.